one of my students said, "Oh, I have no hand-eye coordination." And I was like, "Oh, you don't know the trick then." And it turns out that there is a trick, and it's pretty easy, but I don't think anybody really goes into it in depth. You've heard the idea of, like, keep your eye on the ball, right? So the idea is that when you focus your eyes on something specific, your body does a whole bunch of stuff automatically, right? In blacksmithing, the equivalent to that is your hammer lands where your eyes are looking. So if you want to land your hammer in a particular spot, you've got to look at it, which seems kind of obvious, right? But there's a particular way that you have to look at it. It's almost as if your eyeballs are shooting lasers out of them. And so you stare at that one spot that you want to hit with as much energy and focus as you can. In science, it's called gaze locking, right? Where you're literally locking your gaze on exactly the spot you want to hit. And you'll simply hit there a little bit more often. Maybe not perfect accuracy, but a whole heck of a lot better than if you're just not looking at all. But what I see really commonly is people looking at their piece of metal with sort of a soft gaze, as if they know it's there, right? And I think of this as being like if you're driving down the highway and it's wide open, there's nothing on either side, just fields on either side, there's nobody coming, it's broad daylight, you're just taking it all in. That taking it all in gaze, where it's a very soft way of looking at things, that's when your hammer is gonna go all over the place. But if you're looking at just one spot, your hammer will land there just a little bit more often, right? Now, there's certain cases, which for me as a neuroscience nerd are really exciting, but there's certain cases where that technique does not work for everyone. And it's those cases that I think are really interesting and exciting because they tell us a little bit more about how brains work and how eyes work. Sometimes folks have difficulty with their eyes working together. Sometimes this is correlated with things like I believe they call it binocular vision dysfunction. Sometimes it is correlated with challenges with depth perception. Sometimes it's correlated with folks who are a little bit neurospicy, right? There's a lot of reasons why your eyes might not be working together totally. And if they're not working together totally, you can get an image from both eyes in. And if you're trying to hammer, you might be trying to hammer and land the hammer in the wrong image, right? And so we see that in certain circumstances where the person is reliably hitting to the side of their piece of metal. The fix for that is super cool, obviously going to the eye doctor, but the fix for that in the hammering realm is super cool. You just close one of those eyes and see if your aim automatically improves. It's pretty magical when it happens. Anyway, I hope this is helpful.